as we go in deeper and deeper into this journey of self-exploration, we've understood by suppressing or repressing of all these emotions is not beneficial for us. In fact, it's detrimental for us. So since we've understood the science behind, we can then delve in deeper on the shadow. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned briefly about the shadow and why it's important to work on them. According to Jungian psychology, this shadow part is actually what most of us recognize, perhaps may not even recognize, may not even be aware of it, but we deeply repress them down in our psyche because we think that the society will not accept this sort of feelings. They are feelings of anger, shame, guilt, as well as even your desires. So all of this, you suppress them down to the extent that you repress them. So this shadow, if you do not work on them, they will eventually blow up, right? And once it blows up, it would appear in the later years of your life. So it is critical for us to integrate the shadow into our life by acknowledging it, okay? We need to understand one of the states is to come to surrender, full acceptance, because whatever that you're aware and you fully integrate into your life, it will become non-judgmental. Whatever that is not judgmental becomes a state of neutrality. Once it's neutral, you no longer find that this is a shadow. This is just part of me. So then, how should we find out our own shadows? If we do not know our shadows, how would we work on them, right? So clarity is important here. So all you need to do in this practice right now is grab a notebook and pen. In your notebook, I want you to list down 5 main qualities that you despise about yourself as well as in other people, okay? And let me give you a simple example, my personal example. I'm a control freak, right? I mentioned in the past videos. So control is a shadow value of mine. This shadow has been resulted based off my younger years. My mom is also a control freak. So she pretty much grew up in a very traditional upbringing and is very structured and very rigid. So she pretty much did not have a lot of expression, of her own self-expression. So she also used this sort of upbringing for us kids, okay? So I pretty much grew up with a very controlled environment where I didn't have any expression about my fashion sense, my food choices, the type of activities that I do. I have to study really hard, and every time I get back from school, I have to make sure that I call her. If not, I'll get spanked when I get back home, or I get yelled at, shouted at, screamed at, So I pretty much despise this quality, because I had no control around my own life. And I despise that when I try to see it expressed in my older years, when I try to want to control and make people listen to me, you see. Because I keep repressing this side of me, I feel very depressed each time whenever I have no control around the situations around me, you see. So control has become so deeply rooted in me that I want to have control around my life, that every time my situations turn out the way that I don't expect, I get very depressed, I get very stressed out, I get very frustrated, okay? So it is when I finally realized that control is my shadow quality that I become very observant, become very aware whenever situations appear that I have no control, that when people don't listen to my instructions or when people simply don't listen, okay? Then that's where I ask myself, okay, I've done my best, I've acknowledged this side of me that control is not within my reach right now. I finally come to terms and full acceptance, surrender happens. And whatever that you shed light to, you will no longer be bothered by it. And you integrate this shadow as a quality for yourself. Make sense? So, in this practice, all you need to do, list down 5 qualities that you despise about yourself as well as in other people. Okay, if other people can't fit your shadows to you, then you know that is what triggers you. Okay, then after writing down the 5 qualities, write down the 5 reasons why, or write down a reason or a story or an anecdote that is relating to this quality or this value. Okay, I call this a value, not just the shadow itself. So I call this not just a quality but rather a value as well, because whatever you discovered about yourself, including your deepest, darkest secrets, can be used as a productive trigger for you to attain your goals in life. Because you learn how to fill your own cup as you work towards your goals, towards your authentic self, isn't it? And if you really want to achieve success and unleash your fullest potential, then please head into my bio under my link tree, start booking your free one-to-one purpose alignment session. It is up to 1 hour, okay? And that's where we decide whether we could be a good fit to work together in coaching, okay? If you're interested, please go into my link tree right now, okay? And I hope you learned something from this video today, okay? Start doing this exercise, learning and discovering about your own shadows. Find 5 qualities that you despise about yourself, and then find a story, a reason or an anecdote that ties up with this quality that you despise about yourself and in other people. Okay, this would be a very awakening moment for you. Okay, much love and blessings to you.